Here we are for round 14 of the career mode, and it takes us to Singapore. So, coming into this, Vettel's had, of course, he got a better position than us in Italy, but before that, he had a couple of bad races, and as a result, we were about 20 points ahead of him in the championship, so it's looking good. But, of course, Singapore, not really a Mercedes stronghold. It's definitely one of our slowest tracks, and actually crashed into the wall, so that's not a really good start in qualifying. And, yeah, we're going to retire from the session. So, yeah, like in Azerbaijan, we're not really good at street circuits, so we just crashed into the wall, and we're going to have to start in last place. So, yeah, this is going to allow Vettel to close in on us in the championship. But yeah, we'll just see if we can recover from 20th. So here we are into turn 1. We're going to try to go up the inside of these two cars, but actually they defend quite well. Of course, 100 AI do not let you pass easily. But again, we're trying to get past Pascal Wehrlein. But again, the Sauber trying to defend round the outside. So that's quite an impressive move. But we're hopefully going to get him again. But no, he actually forces us out wide, but we're going to now dive up the inside of these three cars, and the other Sauber's now defending from us, and again, they defend successfully, so a bit worrying that we can't get past some of the backfield, and you can see again, we tried to launch up the inside of Ericsson, but all we're doing now is losing time to the people up ahead, as you just can't find a way past him. Of course, Singapore, not the easiest track to overtake on, but you would have thought we would be able to overtake these cars, which are quite loud down the grid order, so we managed to get Ericsson finally around the outside, but you saw actually we lost a bit of front wing, so that's going to really affect us for the rest of the race. I mean, it's not enough to really pit, because that's going to lose us a lot of time, but we're probably going to lose a tenth or so a lap, which is definitely going to cost us. You can see now, so we head on, we've actually caught up to Stroll and Alonso, and they're actually going to battle it out. We're going to go up the inside, but Stroll's going to try to defend it, and we're going to have to launch it up the inside again, and actually losing time to Alonso, but this time we're on the inside, coming into this fast left-hander. We got him, as we squeeze him out wide, and we're up into 15, so it's been quite a slow start. We've only gained, 4 positions in the opening few laps. I think somebody's retired, so we haven't actually gained many positions, but we're going to try to get Alonso up the inside like we got Ericsson the lap before, and this time it's much more clean, and we're up into 14th, but you can see there's a 4-second gap to Massa, so all our scrobbling with the back markers definitely hasn't helped us, but it takes us quite a lot of laps to catch up to Massa in the end, because of course of front wing damage not helping us. But now you can see there's a train. I think there's I think Verstappen's holding it up, or it might be one of the Toro Rossos of Kvyat or Sainz. Here we are now, just trying to be in the DRS of Massa, but you see that Williams straight line speed is very slippery, but on the brakes, we've got to get him up the inside, side by side. We go a bit wide, and actually forces us, he cuts across us a bit. We're going to edge him up the inside, like we did with, I think, Van Dorn a bit earlier, and we're up into 12th, but now we're going to try to go around the outside of Palmer, and we managed to do that quite easily, but Palmer putting up a fight like he did in the real Singapore Grand Prix. Of course, that was his best result, but sparking tyres there as we collide a bit, but up his inside. We're going to get Verstappen as well on the straight, so that's 2 positions in 2 corners, as our straight line speed helps us blitz past the Red Bull. Here we are now into the pits. We're in 10th place, so we're finally into the points, but we're going to come out in 15th in a lot of clean air, so we're on super softs now, so we're going to stretch this stint a bit late, a bit more into the Grand Prix, and hopefully finish on a strong set of ultra softs. But you can see now we're actually going to keep heading on, and we're gaining a few positions. So we're back up to 11th, which is, well, roughly the position we were before the pit stops. And yeah, we're just going to overtake what will be signed, and we're going to be up into 10th. But you can see, yeah, looking behind us, we're quite clear air in 10th. You can see looking behind us, I think Verstappen's also come out on his signs. And actually, yeah, he got him up the inside. So they're going side by side. But I think Verstappen's got him. As you can see, Verstappen's actually hounding us now. So Verstappen on the ultra soft tyres. Of course, Singapore really suits the Red Bull downforce. And of course, in the real life Grand Prix, he did well until he crashed out. But you can see Vettel, once again, has had an engine failure. And this is the 3rd one of the season. And our main challenger rival has had 3 engine failures, costing him almost 75 points, and as a result, that's basically his championship fight over. It's early on, and that is absolutely horrible for Vettel. Of course, Ferrari in real life had a really bad few races from Singapore to Japan, but in this career mode, he had a DNF in Azerbaijan, a DNF in Spa, and a DNF here, so it's really not good news for Vettel, and Ferrari really need to get their act together, because it's only Vettel who's having the problems, not Raikkonen, and Raikkonen's not even in the fight. But we're going to get Magnussen around the outside, and yeah, we're up into what will be 5th now, as a few more people pit, including our teammate. We're going to get Kvyat now, we're up into 4th, so Vettel out of the race is really helping us now. We're nearly in a podium position on lap 21, and we're actually going to make a pit stop around now. As you can see, our tyres are pretty worn, we're going to pit onto the ultras, but and you can see Magnussen's out the race, and the full course safety car's out, and that's really going to help us, because effectively we're going to get a free pit stop, so we're actually going to come out in what will be about 4th, and we'll be on a new set of tyres. So actually, we might be able to push for even the win from the back of the grid. So if we could do that again after doing it in Azerbaijan, that would be quite something. But the safety cars come out right at the right time. But we're going to rejoin, and what will be 5th and in relatively clean air. So as we come out, you can see that there's a car which is going to maybe challenge us, but it's quite a slow exit. And actually, we're going to come out only just ahead of Ocon. So it's a good pit stop from the Mercedes in order to get us ahead. But the safety car stayed out quite a long time, and we're now right behind Perez, who is 4th place. And you can see Raikkonen and Ricciardo swerving, and actually caught off guard. We actually go deep into that corner, and that's actually when Bottas restarted. And yeah, we get quite a slow run, but we're going to get Perez in the slipstream. We're going to have to try to get him quite quickly, because you can see he's already dropping off the back of Ricciardo. So if we can maybe get him on this short straight, we're going to go up the inside. So we're going to try to take him even earlier, and we're going to go side by side. We're going to squeeze him a bit, and we've actually managed to get up into 4th. So now we need to chase Ricciardo if we want to get a podium, let alone the win. Which we probably can get right now, because Vettel's out of the race. So this might be our chance to shine, and we can really put the nail in the coffin for Vettel and really seal the championship this race, because we're right behind Ricciardo on lap 26, and well, we actually didn't manage to overtake him on that straight, but coming on to lap 27, we're right behind Ricciardo. We're going to pull to the outside. DRS is enabled, but it doesn't matter. We're going to use it without DRS around the outside, and that's us up into 3rd. But you can see there's a massive gap to Raikkonen, which we managed to close down by lap 29, but yeah, even going purple, our tyres are beginning to wear out now. We're on the ultra softs, and the front wing damage really isn't helping our tyre wear. And you can see we're staying in the DRS, but we're not actually gaining ground. We run a bit wide there. That's not going to help us at all. Running over the curb and running over another curb. So yeah, we're beginning to drop off now. And by the end of lap 31, you can see, yeah, it's a lost course. They're about a second and a half ahead now. They began to pull a bit of a gap. So as we finish the race, it will be 3rd place. Better than what I thought I'd be, because of course it's not a Mercedes track at all, and we started at the back of the grid, but quite lucky on the safety car and Vettel's retirement, and otherwise we probably would have been down in 6th or 7th. So it's a really lucky race for us and a very unlucky race for our rival. But what can I say, it's really falling into our hands right now, much how it fell away from us in our Vettel career mode last time out. And yeah, Bottas wins his 2nd race on the trot, and it's a Finland 1-2, so you don't see that very often. But yeah, Mercedes definitely sealing the deal in the constructors. We can probably seal it in the next race or so, but it's looking really good for us right now. And unless we get a few DNS on the trot, we look like we've sealed the championship, much like Hamilton's probably going to do today in Mexico. So here we are now, looking down the order. You can see, of course, Ricciardo getting 4th. He had, I think, engine problems towards the end. You can see Van Dorn getting 9th and Wehrlein getting 10th. So the McLaren and the Sauber getting their first points of the season. And that's going to be really good for those two teams, of course, battling it out. But, of course, McLaren hopefully next year will be a bit faster. You can see in the driver standings, Vettel has fallen back into the clutches of Bottas and Raikkonen, looking a bit down. I think the Force Indians are pulling away from the Williams, because, not helped by Lance Stroll at all. But you can see Kvyat's overtaken Sainz in terms of driver standings at Toro Rosso, and as a result, they've moved ahead of Renault. So Renault down to 8th, so that's not really good for them. Of course, Palmer not helping their cause. But that's going to be it. See you